Sup goats, it's JOAT, and welcome to JOAT Plus August 2021. For those who don't know, this is a series where I quickly round up projects that have dropped throughout the past month, as well as hit y'all with some honorable mentions of that month, and some non-dubstep, electronic music, EDM recommends. So this time I decided to go over 15 projects, a few more than usual, but to be honest, last month was pretty eventful when it comes to dubstep. There's one or two non-dubstep projects on here as well. I do want to cover more non-dubstep projects on the JOAT Plus series and in general, to be honest, in the near future. But yeah, without further ado, a word from our sponsors over at Track Drop. So if you're a music producer and are looking to grow your audience, then please take a minute to learn about Track Drop. It is the full toolkit for EDM producers, offering samples, presets, project files, and their exclusive promotion tool, which allows you to submit to over 200 networks covering all the genres we know and love: dubstep, rhythm, future rhythm, color bass. I know those are all subgenres, but fuck that. And using this tool, you can reach a combined cumulative audience of over, get this, 124 million listeners. What's crazy is that the artists using Track Drop typically receive not just one response from the labels and promotion networks, but several. And their packs and project files are designed by artists featured on labels and promotion channels such as Dubstep Gutter, NCS, MA Music, and many more. And y'all can try this for free as well. You don't have to instantly get the subscription, so I guess try it out. You don't have anything to lose. So if anything I said in the last 1.5 minutes sparked your interest, please do follow the link in the description. And if you do end up purchasing one of the subscriptions, then make sure to use my code JOAT20 for if you access the website not using my link. If you use my link, it should instantly put in my code. Let's get into this music. This EP is good. I'm liking this EP. I previously did not care for Finn's music. I felt like it was your average run-of-the-mill new rhythm. I mean, sure, it had its grit and weight to it, but it still felt so, I guess, humdrum in my opinion. Yeah, the tracks on this EP are just sounding much more unique. Especially comparing them against each other. I'm loving the bass lines, the gritty bass lines in the title track, the dejected, chaotic flow of J12N Jizzin. I don't know what that's supposed to be. And the futuristic, stabby, Tear-Out-esque delivery of Centrist. To be honest, I can't choose a favorite right now. All three are really solid, really digging them. I guess if I can't choose a favorite when it comes to projects, I'll shout out the least popular track to use as an honorable mention, which would be Centrist. But yeah, the CP short and sweet. I feel like Finn really honed in on the execution front and just, yeah, now I know what he's all about and I like what he's all about. And it does leave me kind of excited for his music in the future, in the near future. So yeah, some flavorful new rhythm on show here. Melodic Rhythm Pioneer is back with a Never Say Die main label EP. I don't know, I just said main label, like Black Label still exists, rest in peace. Yeah, there's a laid back vibe to this EP, I feel like. The sounds aren't as sonically impactful in comparison to most of his material. With that being said, the melodicity's alright, the progression is pretty great. It's definitely not my favorite set of tracks by him, but it is a solid EP nonetheless. Futuristic, glossy tinge to it too. I see he's going in a more futury, new rhythm, almost bordering future rhythm direction. Yeah, my favorite off this EP would probably have to be Inferno. That track has the most rounded sounds in my opinion, although the flow is straightforward. Still, I don't flat out love this EP, but it's not bad. It does have a lot going for it. It seems like Akira's trying something different here and there with these showcases in general, but it's just more prevalent on this third one. Take, for example, that tonal, almost future rhythm remix of Avoidable Cause. And I've previously stated that I don't love Akira's halftime approach, but it works all throughout this showcase. especially with the final melodic track. Y'all know I love melodic Akira. But yeah, other than that, not much to say about this. Overblown, monstrous death trap, just the usual staple approach of his. Akira-kan continues to be slept on in the underground trap scene. And my favorite, again, that melodic tune at the back end for its searing tonal bass lines, of course, and the sparkly arps to back it up. So yeah, I'm very excited for his next mixtape, EP, whatever he decides to drop. I'm pretty disappointed with this new Bass Planet Collective comp, not gonna lie. Pretty predictable ideas running all throughout the project. Iffy flows half the time as well, sounding either awkward or just thrown together. There's also a lot of tacky rhythm tear-out hybrids on here. Y'all know I don't mind that blend of those two subgenres, but here it's not all that. I guess the highlights on this comp would be the Dreer and the Node Expressor, but the rest I found to be ranging from alright to not it. There's also some tracks here where the first and second drops don't complement each other all too well. I appreciate the variation, but the drops being coupled in that way, it's not necessarily it. So yeah, I wasn't too impressed with this. I definitely enjoyed the first installment more. I didn't enjoy the majority of this compilation, unfortunately. This is a step down from the Dissolve EP in my opinion. It's not as diverse, and I feel like too much of this EP plays into the most basic aspects and tropes of Calcium's music. Watery, squelchy sound design below, with some spooky tonality layered with it. It's just a bit much here. My favorite has to be Sticks and Stones. It's heavier, squelchier, and wubbier than Calcium usually goes, throwing it back kinda. It's free-formy, some old school movement to the sounds, but I mean, overall, this is a meh EP, some of the most forgettable material I've heard of his in a long time. I didn't love it. Damnasie pushing his brand of quirky, glossy future rhythm forward with this EP. Obviously after Hollow Girl, the standard for his music going forward is pretty high, and I wouldn't say any of these tracks meet that bar, but they're close enough. I mean, the intro/title track is a pretty ballad-like start to this EP, Balkan being a stuttery, minimal follow-up, and my pick off this EP has to be For Those Who Don't Listen, which has a lot of similarities to Hollow Girl that I really enjoy. The whirring, chirpy, melodic sound design. And I obviously don't want to compare all of his music to Hollow Girl moving forward. That'd just be stupid and unnecessary and unfair as well. So I'll just leave it there. And Big Man Cubic also reinvents Hollow Girl in a pretty decent way. Stompy, more growly and chunky. Interesting reinvention of that song. So yeah, this is a nice EP and I advise y'all to go check it out. I think I just found a few more DDD songs that I genuinely like. Obviously more of their sprite-like, jumpy, metallic new rhythm on show. It's just the ideas work more focused, clean, and most of all catchy. My pick has to be Shadow Tech. I do not understand why this song gets so much hate. The deeper register suits their style a lot, especially with those metallic stabs angled against it. Silver Crown, the Christian Hayward collab, does kind of trip over itself flow-wise, in the first drop at least. The second drop is a smoother D&B number, but this song showcases genuinely gorgeous future rhythm. And yeah, overall this is a very solid EP. I'm glad DDD's finding a formula that works with their style, because I definitely get the appeal, and I got the appeal back in the day. It's just the ideas and execution for me just used to be not it. I must admit, I went into this with low expectations. Ecraze has been disappointing me for a few years now. I just miss his approach that he took with tunes like Overthrow, for example, which was so wild and off its rocker and genuinely exciting in comparison to a lot of other semi-mainstream dubstep back then. By semi-mainstream, I mean 20 to 100k plays on SoundCloud. But this EP, in comparison, it's a step up. it is. This is a decent set of songs. Sounds like he's taking some inspiration from his contemporaries here. Some Samplifier, No Sphere, even Advance a teeny tiny bit. Saying that because this EP mainly consists of that chunky, lasery rhythm you hear every so often, especially on Disciple. It's not an approach I'm completely tired of, to be fair. I don't mind him going in this direction, just I'm wondering what he's gonna do from here moving forward, because I know I will get tired of it at some point, and that might be soon. But I do feel like he comes up with some creative flows on this EP. Overall, I don't love it. A lot of the sound design is too run-of-the-mill, but it most definitely has its highlights. For a favorite, TINN, the one that sets itself apart a little more than the rest and is looking like it's on the up and up for Ecraze. I hope he continues in this direction. I'll say this about this EP. On the mixing front, sound design front, definitely improvements to be made. But the storytelling, the melodic storytelling, the melodicity of this EP is genuinely stunning. In the drops and non-drop sections, it's pretty mesmerizing, reflective at points. And yeah, I'm not crazy about this brand of melodub overall, but the composition needs to be appreciated. The progression of the music here is great. Favorite has to be Without You. I'm getting some Chime vibes, maybe some Frankie Nuts vibes. The Tritone crew is definitely an inspiration of Heksix, at least on the CP. Melodicity carries the EP. If it wasn't so powerful, there'd be a lot less to marvel on here, I feel like. So I could see Heksix landing on Exobolt with some improvement on the sound design front and mixing, like I said. This compilation brings together elements of happy hardcore, trance, dubstep, hyperpop, electro, house, even drum and bass in such an eventful, colorful way. It's ravey, futuristic, and energetic in every crevice. Getting some nightcore vibes off of this too, judging by the glitchy, pitched up vocals all over the comp. Yeah, it's just wall-to-wall, unhinged, ADHD, frenzied electronic music. I'll keep my favorite a secret since it's on Best Dubstep of August, but my least favorite is the Zek versus Titan Cube Markov chain. That melodic progression just does not work. Nonetheless, this is an exciting comp, and Hypernight definitely made a statement with this collection of tracks, and best believe they're on my radar now. Getting Cyclops and JOAT vibes from this EP. It's pinprick sound design, thin sustained basses. I guess Magic Byte's approach is more glossy and futuristic than, again, Cyclops and JOAT. Kind of more mystical as well, looking at the non-drop section work. The final track reminds me of Beast Boy a bit because of the lush chords that are incorporated. Reminds me of Test My Might. Other than that, not much to say about these three tracks. No least favorite. Favorite is the Banksy collab. It's just more unpredictable than the other two tracks. Not a stellar EP by any means, but it's pretty youthful, insistent dubstep that y'all can give a listen. It's an alright collection of pretty sporadic new rhythm. I'd say that this remix compilation rivals the original album that it's based upon, but I guess that wouldn't be fair because there's so many more producers that took part in the making of this comp. So yeah, the variety and approach is automatically larger. But yeah, I mean, these reinventions are faithful to the respective original songs off the LP. Like the Hypernight tune, I will keep my favorite a secret since it's on Best Dubstep of August. My remix of the month, which I'll give y'all a little hint. It's a person who's been killing the remixes as of late. Apart from my favorite off the comp, some highlights would be the Ula and Ominous, the Night Punk, the JOAT, the TINN, and the Company. There is a lot, that's about half the compilation. And my least favorite, surprisingly, is the Trampa. It's such a plain, basic Trampa song. It's too standard Trampa. It just adopts the most basic tropes of his style. And I consider myself a Trampa fan too, so that's saying something. So yeah, relatively solid remix comp. Didn't flat out dislike any song here, but it does have its fair share of disappointing moments, just like the original LP. It's alright. If y'all have never heard of Prime Audio, then please inform yourself right this instant. I'd say that they were the most influential underground label from 2014 to 2016, the most important underground label for the dubstep scene. And it pisses me off because I keep missing when they drop new projects. I would have formally reviewed this thing, no cap. But yeah, this is good. This is a cool comp. I'll say this, shout out to all the rest of the underground labels. There's a lot of underground labels I fuck with, but I feel like Prime Audio is probably the only underground label apart from Interval that has its own distinct aesthetic, no matter how eclectic said aesthetic is. Like with a lot of these underground labels, I feel like I hear the same rhythm tear out hybrids, rhythm and tear out separately, maybe a few different genres sprinkled into the track list. But no matter how good I find the music to be, the track listing is similar. So with that being said, I fully don't understand why Prime Audio isn't getting more recognition, especially since they carried the underground all those years ago. Yeah, the track listing feels so fresh, and the production is also better than a lot of what I hear in the underground, which again, no shade to any specific label, but that's just how I feel. There's just so many highlights on this thing: the bass flux, the bass tactic, the vice tempest, the marual, the bermejo. But hands down, my favorite track off the compilation has to go to the Ironhide. That weighty, tear-out death step hybrid of his never seems to miss or get old. That tune is also on Best Dubstep of August. My least favorite would have to be the Rush Kid and Musket, but other than that, just very quality music on this comp. So excited for Prime Audio's next full-length compilation. Expect a review. Their approach to curating compilations is so stand out. I've never thoroughly enjoyed Ray Volpe's brand of aggressive and sometimes melodic rhythm. There's no denying that he has a one-of-a-kind style, especially when it comes to the mainstream, but I don't enjoy rhythm in general, and this EP is more or less not an exception to that rule. I find the shrill parts of these songs to be kind of obnoxious for one, and sure, the energy's there, but overall for me, it's just a mixture of uninteresting sounds placed in rapid succession of each other. I get the Bridom/row step format is supposed to have like all the sound design elements work together to make for an interesting listen, and it does work sometimes for me. I enjoy quite a bit of Company and Barely Alive when it comes to the Bridom front, but here it's just mid, in my opinion. Like in small doses, this kind of style is tolerable for me, but it just gets annoying after like half a minute of these kind of drops. I guess I'll never get the appeal of 80% of Bridom out. It's a subjective thing. It's pretty difficult for me to go into this objectively since I don't enjoy this kind of dubstep, so I'll leave it at that. It's not for me. I've seen a lot of hype surrounding this EP, and it's definitely interesting. It deserves that hype. This EP dropped on the Rank Collective, and I'm always intrigued to see what they do when they release projects representing the Japanese underground. Love their aesthetic. I feel like I have to talk about these three tunes individually since so much differentiates them stylistically. The title track features the stabby, pinprick synths and some nice melodies in the B sections. Meltdown is where it starts to get really weird. Rattling sound design over a rumbling sub with some atonal pads in the back. And the final track, Ghost. Dissonant, moany basses packed into a triplet delivery, unsettling yet so appealing. This is a pretty great EP. I'm not going to lie, made a statement and left a bad taste in my mouth for all the right reasons. Big up VIWIV. VIWIV. There we go. Alright, so those were the projects I decided to cover for JOAT Plus of August 2021. Now let's get into the honorable mentions, starting with my favorite tracks off of these projects. Finn, Centrist, Asara, Inferno, Dreer, Overmorrow, Calcium, Sticks and Stones, Damnasie, for those who don't listen, DDD, Shadow Tech, Ecraze, Titan, Heksix, Without You, Magic Biden Banksy, Against War, and VIWIV with Ghost. Following that, we have Murata with That Murata Song, We have OG Nixon with Thug Nasty, Mahir with Eril, Kamikon with High, Van Fleet, and Molly with Cardinal, and last but not least, Buke's Finest with Homework. And there's 5 more tracks to get through when it comes to the non-dubstep EDM electronic music recommends. Elidian with Kuroda, Ringneck, Who Knows, Balance, Matayo, and Never Ends with Calcination, Big Man Collision with Pull Up. I don't have the sweatshirt on, but fuck that. Veer, Happy Cup VIP. That was the video, y'all. Thank you all for watching. Make sure to show all of these producers some love. Y'all can also check out the playlist I made for these honorable mentions and EDM recommends in the description box. Follow my Twitter, join my Discord, both links also in the description, as well as the rest of my socials. And I will see you on the next video. Bye.